The threats to democracy is that democratic politics as currently constituted isn't up to the big challenges we face. So the reason I chose 6 was because I knew it would provoke people, because 16, even 12 seems a little bit sort of like more of the same, but I actually believe it. And I've been recently working in a primary school in England with 6-year-olds, talking to them about politics. Surprising how much they know and what they think. But it's the reason I made that argument is actually because I think we misunderstood what voting is. We think that to be able to vote, you have to have a certain level of knowledge and competence, but we don't. I don't. Lots of voters don't. It's not about what we know, it's about being heard. And the one group of people who are properly disenfranchised are children. And if they were heard, people think, oh my God, the world would end. Children would be running the country. No, they wouldn't. Politicians still be running the country. It doesn't matter who votes. It's always the politicians who are running the country. But children would be heard. And children have got things to say, for sure, that we don't hear in politics. I think democracy is still in decent health. And when I wrote about the end of democracy, it was partly to say Donald Trump is not the end of democracy. May still be proved wrong. But for now, I think I was right. He's not the end of democracy. Joe Biden's doing fine. British politics has been through its mad phase, but it's doing okay. I think the threats are all long-term. So we focus on the short term. We think this person's going to finish it, that person's going to finish it. They're not. The threats to democracy is that democratic politics as currently constituted isn't up to the big challenges we face. And those challenges are climate change and AI technology. That's quite an extreme definition of democracy, that it's purely majoritarian. I'm happy enough with a political system where you can vote the out. I think that's the primary requirement. But I do think that British politics, including the first past the post politics, is not a good way of sampling what the public actually thinks. So it does its basic job, which is when they're really bad at it, we get rid of them, and some of them sooner than others. But if you think democracy is about finding out what people care most about, at the moment, I don't think it's doing its job. So from what I understand, I know lots of people in universities who are very worried about it, and then they set it an essay and it gives a really bad answer and they go, phew. What you have to do is then take its bad answer and say to it, ChatGPT, this is a terrible answer, can you do better? 2 or 3 rounds of that, telling it, guiding it, you get a really good essay. So what it is it's a great assistant. What it is not yet is a replacement.